guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. Sorry for the late video. Normally I post earlier in the day, but I had to pick up a shift today. I didn't have to, I volunteered to. Paige, if you know Barrett Pastor, her daughter Paige had surgery, and so she is out at work right now. So I am picked up an extra shift. So every Tuesday for a while until she's back, I'm gonna be working. So my videos are gonna be a little bit later. I'm sure you guys understand. If not, sorry. But anyway, so today I'm gonna be cooking. I'm gonna be making a sheet pan dish where basically I want it to be super easy. You put everything on a pan, pop it in the oven, go about your business. And this one is actually, it's gonna be great. It's got chicken, it's got red onions, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. I've never had Brussels sprouts, so I'm actually really excited for it. Actually, I was looking today, I'm like, people talk about Brussels sprouts all the time. I need to make some. I need to try it. And everything else in this with the balsamic glaze sounds amazing, so I'm going that route today. Also, speaking of that, instead of buying a balsamic glaze, sorry, I'm hot. Instead of buying a balsamic glaze, I'm actually gonna be making one, so I'll show you how to do that while I'm at it. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first of all, the ingredients. You might wanna know that. I started to move on and not show you. So let's see if this can work with the camera way up here. But chicken. This is 1.5 pounds of chicken cut into cubes. And then also, what is it? 20 ounces of sweet potatoes cut into cubes. And then the Brussels sprouts, just cut in half, not cubed. And then red onions cut into chunks, not cubed or halved. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, also bacon. This is 5 strips of bacon cooked up. If you do want to cut the calories or cut the points, obviously use turkey bacon. I get a lot of points in the day, so I decided to use the real stuff and go that route. So that is in there. As far as seasonings go, gonna be using some minced garlic. You can use a real garlic clove and mince it up yourself. I'm lazy. And that Tajin seasoning stuff, I finally got a big bottle, so I'm gonna be throwing that in there. I put it in everything, bagel seasoning, or everything but the bagel seasoning. At the very end, we're gonna put in a little bit of parsley on top. Am I gonna drop something every cooking video lately? Get that in a second. And so that's the seasoning. For the balsamic glaze, simple 2 ingredients. It's balsamic vinegar and a little bit of honey. When I get to that, I'll show you more details. All right, let's get into it. All right, so first of all, you're gonna get yourself a big bowl and put the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts inside. And you can use oil at this point. I like to save points, so I am gonna be using some olive oil spray. And you just wanna spray it and shake it up. I'm probably gonna have to get my hands in there. I was trying to avoid it. But all right, shake it up. And you just wanna get oil on everything. Okay, so there's that. Go over to your pan. Now, technically, you should be using a larger pan, a sheet pan, which I forget how big they are, 18 to 13, but I do not have a pan that big, so we're gonna make this work. When I get to the next step, I am going to be using 2 pans. Right, so you get all of them on there, and then you take your bacon and you're just gonna sprinkle it all over. You can make these at small, big, however you want. I just went with larger ones, but the point is you wanna get it kind of everywhere and get it evenly distributed. All right, so now we're gonna take this and pop it in the oven, which has been preheated to 400 degrees, and let that get going. All right, so while that is going, we are going to get the 1/2 cup of balsamic vinegar in a pot, and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of honey. And we're gonna whisk that together, and we're gonna let it come to a boil. Okay, so now that it's boiling, we're gonna turn the heat down to medium-low, and we're gonna let this go for like 10 to 11 minutes or so, stirring frequently. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but it has really, really reduced down now. So it's not as much. So we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool off for the rest of the time until we need it. All right, so I just took that out of the oven, and what I'm going to do is pop it in this bowl. All right, so that is in there, and you're gonna toss in your onions, toss in your chicken, and then the seasonings. I went ahead and measured them all out, but this is 3 teaspoons of the minced garlic and 1 teaspoon of everything else, the Tajin, the bagel seasoning, and you're just gonna sprinkle it all over and mix it all up. Okay, minced garlic in there probably wasn't the best idea because it's a little wet. And just stir it all up until it's everywhere. And holy cow, it already smells so good. And half the food isn't even cooked yet. Okay, so now I'm gonna transfer these into 2 pans since I do not have a proper sheet pan. And the reason why I'm switching to 2 is because you really want it all in a single layer, not in, you know, a pile. All right, so as you can see, here's the 2 pans, and these are gonna go back in the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes until the chicken is done. Okay guys, it's time for my favorite time, the Infinity Gauntlet. That means these guys are done. Ooh, look at that steam. What do you think? Do they look done? I'm gonna double check that chicken, but they've been in there for 20 minutes this time. So, I checked them at 15 and they were not quite. But holy cow, that looks so good. I'm gonna check this chicken and see if I need to cook a little bit longer. All right, so the recipe says that this makes 4 servings. So that meant 1/2 of that is 1 serving. That equals this. It's kind of a lot, but this is also dinner, the entire thing. So, and it's not a super deep bowl. So, yeah. All right, and from this point, you simply take that balsamic glaze that we made. See how it's a little bit thicker than it was? And you just drizzle it on. It said to drizzle it on per serving or the entire thing. All right, so now my favorite part of every video where I get to taste it. Now this one's actually a little bit more of a surprise for me because I have never had Brussels sprouts before. But first, just look at that. That looks good. I wish you could smell it. I still say, why hasn't smell-o-vision not been invented yet? Because holy cow, if you guys could smell this, you'd be so happy. So first, I'm gonna just go right into a Brussels sprout. Let's see. Why have I never had Brussels sprouts before? Why didn't you guys tell me to have these? Oh my gosh, holy cow. And with that balsamic vinegar glaze, holy, yeah. It's like the perfect mixture. That was rude. It's a perfect mixture of flavors and textures because the onion's a little bit crisp still, but not hardcore. The chicken is super tender and super juicy. And then the Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes just add a whole nother layer. Okay, I've got a little bit of everything on this bite. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm not a moaner when it comes to food, but holy cow, I can see myself moaning with this food. This is great. So I give this like, I don't do ratings, I don't know. 9 out of 10, possibly 10 out of 10. This is really good. Maybe if you use the original recipe with the seasonings, it might be even better. I like the mix of seasonings that I use though. So I will put what I use down below as well as a link to the original recipe so that you guys can look at that. I barely changed anything. I mainly changed the seasonings, but still. And so let's get into the points and the nutritional information. So first of all, I am on green. So for this, the way I made it is 12 bites on Sugar Smart or 12 points on the green plan with Weight Watchers. Sugar Smart, if you don't know, is iTrackBites. It's very similar, but iTrackBites has all of the old Weight Watchers plans, plus a keto plan, plus a calorie counting plan. Lots of options. If you're curious, check the link down below. You can go, and there's a discount if you go pro. But I do Sugar Smart, which is the same thing as the green plan. So it's 12 bites, 12 points on there. Keep in mind, you can switch to alternative bacon. You can use less, well, it's pretty much all you can change. You can also look for store-made balsamic vinegar glazes, because doing it my way with real honey and with real balsamic vinegar, that was a lot of points right there. And then of course, sweet potatoes. You could alternate that with something else. You could use, I think asparagus would be really good in this. You could do peppers or anything else that you would want to if you want to take the points away, because the sweet potatoes do add a lot of the points. But 12 is not bad for me, and for dinner, I don't think that's bad. And plus, like I said, it's a huge bowl. Like, it's 4 servings. Okay, so blue plan. For those of you that are on the blue plan, that is 9 points. That's not bad. I think that I like dinners to be under 10. 10 or under is what I would like. When I get low, like right now, like I said, I still get a lot of points because I'm still a really big guy. If you are on purple, this recipe is designed for you, because this one is 5 points. 5-point dinner right here. That is fantastic. I mean, I don't think you can beat that really for as much of this is, because you've got meat in there. You've got your vegetables. You've got bacon, guys. This is real bacon. Holy cow. All right, so into the nutritional information. I'm gonna read this real quick, but if you guys don't know, I always list it all in the description, but I'm just gonna speed read it because it always feels weird. I left it out of one video and I'm like, just check below, and it felt weird. So, 483.6 calories, 10.2 grams of fat, 2.8 grams of saturated fat, 49.9 grams of carbs, 7.8 grams of fiber, 19.9 grams of sugar, and 49.8 grams of protein. That is for this bowl of all of this. I think it's great, and I think it's a complete dinner on its own. You don't even really have to serve it with anything else. I'm not gonna serve it with anything else. I'm literally gonna eat it like this. Literally, when I get off this camera, I'm gonna be eating it. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Have you guys had Brussels sprouts before? I don't know why I've never had them. I am really sad that most of my life I've never had them. Luckily, 2020 is the year I finally had Brussels sprouts, and I'm happy about it. Those guys, they're just good. They're like smaller, sweeter, little balls of lettuce. And I don't know other ways you cook them, but super juicy and not like watery juicy, if that makes sense. So I'm happy. All right, so I'm gonna end it here because now I'm super hungry now that I've had a bite. And thank you guys for being patient with me again, for not posting as early as I usually do. Please like, please comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that little bell so you know when I post videos, because I do know there's another collab coming up in the next few weeks. So that way you'll know when it posts. And until Thursday when I do the meme of the week, I'll talk to you guys later.